I guess we're going to start with parenting because that's the top of my mind
Yeah,
right now.
let's do
And I
it.
think that you have a cool perspective because you have a boy and a girl. I just have two boys, so I'm a boy mom. But I was once a young girl that made many mistakes, just like probably everybody else. So my perspective is just based off of my own, upbringing. Like I don't have actual daughters to kind of frame it around. But there's this idea that it's maintaining agency and autonomy and like encouraging that independence in your kid, which I think is beautiful, right? Like that's
Mhm.
hopefully what every healthy parent wants for their kid, is for them to be able to fly out of the nest and not need your help. But there is like a process of maturing that requires, it's like you almost unlock different levels, right, as you age. And now I can deal with bigger problems, and I can understand like the gravity of certain situations. Maybe it's an outfit that I choose to wear, or a decision if I decide to go drinking, like maybe I'm 16 and put myself in certain situations. So at what point would your daughter be able to come to you and like, let's say it's something over social media, and
Mhm.
let's say you're very against her signing up before a certain age, and maybe, well, let's take it back. We'll say she's 13. So she's 13 and wants an Instagram. And you're like, honey, I just don't think it's a good idea. And you can maybe provide her with data, whatever your perspective is. And she comes to you and she's like, Mom, I know what's best for me. I
Mhm.
know it's best for me because I'm me,
Mhm.
and I have a perspective that you don't have because it's my own agency essentially. And cool, of course, to like some point, but 13 seems awfully young to me. Like I made some really big mistakes at 13. So how do you encourage independence but also maintain the responsibility of being the mom, and you do know better in some situations. Like you just have experienced more life than her, and that just is.
Mm. That's such an interesting dynamic that you're bringing up. And I mean, love me or hate me, I'm just going to tell you what I think,
Yeah.
right? So this is spur of the moment. It's not like we're just shooting the shit here, basically. But the way that I feel is whenever I approach these tough conversations with my kids, I try to go in with curiosity and open-mindedness, not I know better
Mm.
because I have life experience, because all of my life experience is based off of my life with my inputs. And things have changed so much, even in the last 2 years with technology. I
Mm.
can't even, and I have a post about this, I can't even really understand the world my children are growing up in. We just didn't have, I mean, we went to the library. I remember asking my mom, probably 90% of my questions never got answered as a child because you couldn't get an answer. My mom would be like, "We'll go to the library." And I'm like, "And search where?" I'm asking you a question. If you don't know the answer, just tell me you don't know it. Now, I mean, everything's at your fingertips. You just Google and you
Mm-hmm.
get an answer. And so I think as a parent, it's really important that you have set, guidelines for your children, but be flexible. You know your child. You know if they can be trusted. You know the values that you've given them and passed on. So, for instance, with my children, I don't have a problem with them having Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to be on it all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
And, but we have a very open relationship. So if they see something that they're like, "Ugh," they'll bring it to me and be like, "What do you think about this, Mom?" Or "Let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about this." I also feel like a lot of times by creating secrecy and, "Ooh, that's not good," or "I don't want them to know about this," or "We don't talk about this," it creates intrigue in them. And
Mm-hmm.
then you're gonna be the one to tell them, or they're gonna find it out from someone else. And my ex-father-in-law told me that, and it was the best piece of advice I think I've ever received. You're either gonna be the first or the last with your kid. And the first one is the one that makes the biggest impression. So you better take those chances to impart the way that you view things. It doesn't mean that they're going to view it the same, but you have that chance as the parent. So I
Mm-hmm.
try to never steer away from uncomfortable conversations. I try to just remember it's just life.